peptides, vitamin C, azelaic acid, sunscreen, cleanser, moisturizer, milky toners. There are so many products that you could add into your morning routine, but which ones should you add into your morning routine? Let's go over it. If you have not seen my face before, I'm Ella. I'm a licensed esthetician and acne specialist, and my goal is to make skincare simple again because holy moly, skincare has become way too complicated. So my goal is to make it as simple as I possibly can, which means I have created a bunch of completely free resources for you, like my ingredient checker that tells you way more than if a product has a pore clogging ingredient in it. And then I also have my free skin profile quiz that will sort you into one of 8 skin profiles that helps you narrow down exactly what you should be doing for your specific skin concerns. I also have every single product that I will mention in this video linked down below, so make sure you check it out there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified anytime we start posting, because this is the first official YouTube video on this account and I'm so excited. I've been planning this for so long and I cannot wait to bring this journey over to YouTube as well. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you follow along, and go ahead and leave me a comment with your biggest skin concerns. We can make sure that we add that to the list of videos to tackle next. Now, one of the biggest questions that I get when it comes to building a morning skincare routine is, should I cleanse in the morning? And the answer is maybe, if your skin needs to. So what I like to tell my clients is, if you are waking up oily or you are waking up sweaty, or your main concern is excess oil and clogged pores, you should be cleansing in the morning no matter what. If your skin is on the opposite end of that and we're waking up with our skin maybe a little bit dry, maybe a little bit tight, maybe our skin's a little unhappy at the moment and we're dealing with more sensitivities where your skin is just naturally more dry and reactive, you can typically skip a morning cleanse, and that's totally okay. So it's going to be different for everybody, but please keep in mind that just because you cleanse in the morning with dry skin, that does not mean you're going to strip your skin. And just because you skip cleansing in the morning with oily skin, that does not guarantee a breakout. It does increase your odds, but it does not guarantee anything. If you have pets that sleep in your bed, cleansing in the morning can be a little more important. That pet dander gets to your skin a bit more than you think it does. Now, should you be using an exfoliant within your cleanser? Well, again, that brings us back to, if you are waking up sweaty or oily and your main concern is congestion in the skin, then yeah, going with a salicylic acid cleanser can be incredibly beneficial, but don't necessarily jump straight to a 2%. Stronger is not better, and 2% doesn't sound like a lot, but salicylic acid is a quite strong exfoliant, so we're not going to jump straight to a 2%. Instead, going with something like the Remedy Skin Cleanser for normal to oily skin that has a 0.5% salicylic acid is a beautiful way to go to still get that oil balancing control without completely stripping your skin every day. Now, aside from your cleanser, the only products that you actually need are a moisturizer and a sunscreen. Everything else is extra. This is where I like to tell my clients to limit things to 1 toner, maybe 2 if it's a targeted thing and replacing one of your barrier products, 1 non-exfoliating targeted treatment, this is where your vitamin C or your peptide, something like that's gonna come into play, and then 1 barrier supporting serum. Again, this can be replaced by a barrier supporting toner depending on how much barrier support you need and which one you go with. The issues tend to come from when we're layering more and more products on the skin, because now our skin is overwhelmed. These ingredients are competing to actually get into the skin, and we're not gonna necessarily see the same results that we should because we've simply overwhelmed and layered too many things. Especially if your skin is more on the reactive side or we are dealing with inflammatory acne. Your skin needs less signaling, not more. Now, your exception to the rule of 1 toner, 1 non-exfoliating targeted treatment, and 1 barrier product is your azelaic acid. Now, azelaic acid is not an exfoliant, it is a skin regulator. It helps to tell your skin to do its job more efficiently. Azelaic acid is going to be fantastic to add in if you are dealing with acne, texture, redness, hyperpigmentation, and large pores. It will help to balance that oil control as well. So my oily girlies dealing with acne should absolutely have an azelaic acid in their routine. Now, you can go with an over-the-counter azelaic acid that's typically going to be a 10%, and that's still going to show lovely results when it comes to mild acne, mild pigmentation, redness, and texture. But if we are truly dealing with rosacea and acne, you want a 15% prescription azelaic acid if you can get one. If we're truly dealing with pigmentation and melasma, you want a 20% azelaic acid prescription if you can get one. So while stronger doesn't always mean better, when it comes to azelaic acid and with how gentle it is safe to go with the stronger options if it's going to target your skin concerns specifically. Now, while you absolutely can have a toner, a targeted serum, and a barrier serum, you do not have to fit every single one of those categories. And when starting with them, I I would start with your barrier product first, whether you want to go with the toner or you want to go with the serum, whichever one you would like to do, but I would go with a barrier supportive product first to make sure that your barrier is nice and happy. This can be something like the new Remedy Skin Barrier Serum. I absolutely adore that. This can be something like the In Beauty Project Copper Peptide Serum, because yes, while a copper peptide can be counted as a targeted treatment, it is still a barrier forward treatment. So the In Beauty Project Elastic Skin is a beautiful product to add in right here. The iUnique Beta Glucan Serum is great for those who have more sensitive reactive skin and are on the more oily side, whereas the Experiment Super Saturated is my favorite barrier serum for more dry, peely, flaky skin that needs that super deep dose of hydration. And then after that, go with your treatment serum. And this, again, non-exfoliating serum, please. This is where we're gonna add in more of a targeted peptide serum if we didn't go with the copper peptide for the barrier serum, or you could add in a vitamin C serum. You could even go with something like the In Beauty Project Pro C Serum, which is a combination of your barrier serum plus your signal peptide serum. Your signal peptides are the peptides that tell your skin to produce more collagen. Peach Slices has their Super Fade Serum, which is also lovely, under $15, and has a beautiful lineup of ingredients to help tackle pigmentation from multiple different angles. So you're adding in a serum that is targeting your specific skin concerns. And if you don't need a serum to target those, or you're able to get the results that you're looking for through adding a barrier serum, because maybe we're just looking to give an overall brightness to our skin and bring life back to our skin, that's what a barrier serum is going to do. So you don't have to get every single category of skincare. These are just your options you could add on. Now, speaking of options to add on, the morning is the best time to add on any beauty tools that you are going to do. And red light therapy is one of my absolute favorite beauty tools. And really, if you're going to invest in a beauty tool to use at home, red light therapy is the one that you should start with. It has the most benefits for the skin and the least risk of causing any sort of damage. There are lots of great masks on the market. Personally, I use the Current Body mask, but Omnilux and Jovis both have amazing masks as well. They are an investment, but we do have holiday season right around the corner. So if you're waiting for a good sale, add it to your list and keep an eye on those, and I will update you when those sales start to happen as well. But if you're going to invest in any sort of at-home treatment, red light therapy is really the first thing that you should go with. By the way, red light therapy is going to be great if we are focused on premature aging, redness, overall tone and texture, and pigmentation of the skin. And then it's time to moisturize. And while your moisturizer is there simply to hydrate the skin, and yes, every skin type needs a moisturizer, including oily skin, we can get a little more targeted with our moisturizer for specific benefits as well. You can go with something like the Anua PDRN cream if your skin is more red and inflamed and reactive, to really help calm everything down. Or you could go with something like the In Beauty Project Recharge Gel Cream if your skin is very dull and lackluster and we just want to get back that lit from within glow. Or you could even go with something like the Dr. Idris Major Fade Hyperpigmentation Targeting Moisturizer. That is a beautiful gel moisturizer that gives deep hydration while targeting pigmentation specifically. Best way to decide if your moisturizer needs extra benefits to it, like brightening and anti-aging and things like that, is look at the serum lineup that you have, the serums and toners. If we are wanting a very minimal routine where we're not using a ton of products, then we want to capitalize on making sure that our products can tackle as many things as once as it can without going with products that promise to tackle everything, because no product is going to tackle everything. But we want to be a bit more strategic, and we want those extra benefits if we're going with fewer products. If you're already using a peptide serum and a vitamin C and an azelaic acid, go with a nice simple moisturizer, because again, we're not trying to overwhelm the skin. So simple, barrier forward, anti-inflammatory moisturizer is what we want there. Not too much signaling, not too much communication with the skin, so that it can actually take in what we are giving it. And then we have our most important category, our sunscreen. And now, before you come at me and say, oh, but Ella, I don't need to wear sunscreen because the UV is a 1, or Ella, I don't need to wear sunscreen because I'm not going to be outside much. Do you see the sunshine right here? Yeah, I'm getting UV damage and I'm inside. You're still going to get UV exposure unless you are in a windowless basement from sun up to sundown. And by the way, I don't care about the UV index. The UV index tells us about UVB rays, which is what most people think about when they think of sun damage, because the UVB rays are what cause sunburns and skin cancer. So yeah, we do want to protect against those, and that's what our SPF is for. However, UVB rays are not the only rays that the sun gives off. We also have UVA rays, and UVA rays are a longer wavelength and get deeper into the skin and cause 80 to 90% of visible aging. Let me say that again. UVA rays cause 80 to 90% of visible aging. That means dullness to the skin. That means fine lines and wrinkles. That means breakdown of collagen. That means a damaged barrier. That means more redness and pigmentation. That means larger pores because your skin is losing elasticity and it can't bounce back like it used to. 80 to 90% is caused by UVA rays, and the UV index is only telling you about the UVB rays. UVA rays stay about the same all year long, and we need to be protected from them every single day. If you are putting any sort of time, money, effort into your skincare routine, and if you're watching this video, that means you probably are, your sunscreen is your insurance, and it costs significantly less to wear the sunscreen now and prevent the damage than try to correct it later on because you simply didn't want to wear the sunscreen. It is that big a deal, and it is that important, and sunscreen is that girl. I promise you there is a sunscreen out there that will work for your specific skin concerns and will work for your skin. It won't cause pilling, it won't cause burning, it won't cause stinging, it won't cause a white cast. Your skin will love it, your skin will thrive with it. I promise you it is out there and it exists. Some of my favorites include the Polish Choice Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid, In Beauty Project Mineral Sun Glow, CeraVe Invisible Mineral Sun Glow, Naked Sundays Cabana Clear, and I'm also loving the Cabana Clear Illuminating. That's literally the only thing that I have on my face right now. It's not a coverage. You can still see my one pigmentation spot that I'm working on, but it just gave a nice blur and evened everything out. My skin has a beautiful glow to it, so really loving that one at the moment. Lissy Skincare just launched a new sunscreen as well, a good tinted sunscreen that is targeting acne-prone skin. Absolutely lovely. There are so many amazing options out there, and I didn't even touch any of the Korean formulas. Now, sadly, in the United States, we can't get the true Korean formulas anymore, but if you are not in the United States and you can get the true Korean formulas, I am very jealous, and I hope that at some point soon the FDA will catch up and we'll be able to get them here. But for my non-FDA approved sunscreen formulas, the Medik8 Advanced Day Protect Sunscreen, oh my goodness, it is beautiful. It is amazing. You can only get it in Europe, but it is absolutely fantastic. I also love the original Skin 1004 sunscreens. We cannot get the original ones here anymore, but which one is it? The Glow Sun Ampule from their Probiotica line. It's so good. That's probably my top sunscreen in the world of all times. It is so, so good. I have about a quarter of a bottle left and I am hoarding it because I cannot get it again. And hopefully maybe I'll go to Korea soon and I'll stock up on them and bring back like 15 bottles, maybe 30. I don't know. We'll see. But those are absolutely amazing. And I promise, there is a sunscreen out there for you. So now let's put those into full routines, starting with oily skin. We will be cleansing every morning if you have oily skin. We're going to start with our gentle cleanser, and please make sure you are working that cleanser in for a solid 60 to 90 seconds before you rinse it away and pat dry with either a disposable cloth or a fresh, clean washcloth every time. Nice and gentle. We are then going to go in with that azelaic acid. And if you have oily skin and are not happy with your skin and have not started an azelaic acid, that needs to be your next thing that you do. Start with your azelaic acid. You're going to let that sit on the skin for 2 to 3 minutes, let it absorb, do its thing. We are then going to follow that with our first treatment product. This is going to be our barrier focused product if you are using a toner. A couple barrier focused toners that I completely forgot to mention. The Bioma Blemish toner is absolutely phenomenal. The Peach Slices L-glutathione toner if we're looking for something that's more brightening. The Anua PDRN toner mist I'm obsessed with. The Numbuzin Cica Panthenol toner is so, so nice if your skin is more reactive and we're wanting to calm everything down and go anti-inflammatory. So many great options out there. But after your azelaic acid is when you're going to do your toner. And yes, that is totally fine, even if your azelaic acid is a cream. If it's a cream, you may want to let it sit into the skin for a good 3 to 5 minutes instead of 1 to 2, so that it can feel a little bit better when you go in with your toner after. Play around with it, see what actually feels the best for you, but your toner is going to go after. Now, real quick before you come into the comments and say, but Ella, your toner is supposed to help everything to absorb better. We want it to go first. Then do your toner first, babe. You can do it in whatever order you decide fit, and it's your skin. I'm not going to show up at your house and say, no, you're doing it wrong. So if you would like to apply your toner before your azelaic acid, you do you, boo-boo. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just ideally best for azelaic acid to go on clean, dry skin. That's all that's coming from, but it's not going to ruin anything or make the azelaic acid like not effective if you put it onto skin after your toner. Just in general, just do what makes you happy. Just Just do you. You do you, boo-boo. After your toner is when we are then going to go in with our treatment serum, our non-exfoliating treatment serum. Again, that is your vitamin C, that is your peptide, that's your resveratrol, that is whatever serum you are using, if you choose to use one, that is tackling your top skin concerns, whether that's brightening, hyperpigmentation, anti-aging, balancing oil, whatever we are working on, that is what that is targeting in a non-exfoliating way. Next, if one barrier-focused hydration product is not enough for your skin, that is when we are then going to follow it up with our second hydration barrier product, and this one is completely optional. All of these are actually optional. You do you. As long as you're wearing sunscreen and cleansing your skin, I don't actually care what you do with your skin in the morning. Every single one of these steps is optional. However, if your skin needs more hydration or you just want to be a maximalist with your skincare, because me too. So if that's the case, then go ahead and add on your second barrier product here, because when we are wanting to layer more products, barrier products are typically going to be our safest bet. We're then gonna lock it in with our moisturizer and our sunscreen, and that is it. That is your morning routine. It does not need to be anything crazy. It does not need to be 14 steps. It actually probably shouldn't be 14 steps, and it does not need to be overwhelming. It needs to be something that you can realistically be consistent with every single day, or at least 6 days out of the week, because if we're not consistent with it, we're just not gonna see results. And it needs to be something that you enjoy doing, because if you don't enjoy doing it, you're not going to do it. And if you don't do it, you won't see results. And that's just the simple fact of it. So make sure that you are actually going with something that's realistic for you and not just what social media told you that you need to buy. But go ahead and let me know your biggest skin concern in the comments as well. And again, don't forget to subscribe and follow along and push that bell so you can be notified every time we post a video, and check out everything that we have linked below, because there's a lot of really cool stuff down there for you. But I hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, life, everything, because you deserve it. And don't forget to reapply your sunscreen.